Hello everybody, it is Kelly from LOCH BRIAR KNITS coming to you from a very foggy, kind of cool, wet, damp Nova Scotia, Canada. It is Saturday, June 11th, I think, and this is episode 80. So you may notice I finally got my post-lockdown haircut and I chopped a bunch off and I had them kind of cut it so I could let the natural curl have its way, which is probably a really bad idea on a day like today. By the end of the episode, we could have just a big old ball of frizz. So we're gonna get going. I have a couple of new cast-ons. I have a whip, and I have a whip that I think is going to get frogged. And I have some acquisitions. So I have nothing to drink either. I just realized I'm kind of thirsty, but I'm also too lazy to go downstairs and get anything. So let's get going. Let's start off with my tale of woe. Let's just get that out of the way. So anybody who has watched previous issues will know I cast on the Rift Sweater by Jacqueline Cieslak. I think I'm saying that right. So this is like a lovely sweater. I kept hearing how easy everybody found it. And I'm going along, knitting my little heart out. And I was going fine. And then this morning, I was doing the, I guess it's the, where's my eyeballs? So I'm doing the shoulder shaping, and then which leads into the left neck and shoulder shaping, which is fine. But right before you get to the shoulder section, there's a note here, and I don't think I'm giving anything away in the pattern if I read this, but it just basically says you work the shoulder separately, but it says in the following instructions, I use left and right to designate the separated shoulders of the piece being worked according to the knitter's view of the right side of the work, not according to the final position of the shoulder on the sweater. In other words, you may be knitting the left shoulder on the back piece that will eventually become the back of the right side of the sweater viewed from the front. So I read that and my dyslexic brain just went, what? And then a few expletives after that. So I thought, okay, I'm just gonna just do what the instructions say. So I had to knit for X number of rows to, for the back. Sorry, the front. And then you start doing shaping for the neck. So I'm following the instructions. I'm doing the short rows like I'm supposed to. Everything's working out fine. This is the other side that I haven't done because you do one side and then you go back and you do the other. So these ones still have like their short row. I always put the markers in for my short rows so I remember to pick them up. So I'm going along. And then there's one instruction that says, it says to, like when you're going on the wrong side, at one point you slip your last stitch with the yarn in front. And then when you turn your work around, it says to slip the first stitch onto the left hand needle. So at this point you're on the right side, so you're back here. So you're on this part because the right side's facing you. And this is the stitch that you would have slipped just in the previous row. So then, without knitting them, slip the first stitch on the left hand needle over the second stitch to bind it off. Well, first off, I'm not on the left hand needle. Oops. I'm on the right hand needle. So I went back to see, did I mess something up? And I followed the instructions. It's like, no, you're where you're supposed to be. I get that what you're doing is you're binding off and you're making the neck right now. But if you slip the first stitch onto the left-hand needle over the second stitch, it's like they're saying slip this one over this one, which makes no sense. You would have to slip like this one over that one to bind it off. So that's what I did, because that's the only thing that made sense to me. And then you kind of bind off a couple more stitches and you start to get this, which is fine. So I do that, I follow the instructions, I do as many as I'm supposed to, I repeat the rows where I'm supposed to, and then at the end, it says you should have, for my size, 28 stitches for the left shoulder, which technically this is going to be the left shoulder. No, this is going to be the right shoulder, but it's the left shoulder facing me, which I think is what she was saying. I do not have 28 stitches. I have 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 2, 4, 6, 8, 20, 2, 4, 6, 8, 36 stitches. So technically, this is how many stitches I should have. This is how many stitches I do have, which is going to make the neck very small. But I went back and I've read the instructions like 20 times trying to figure out where I went wrong. And I have no clue. I have no clue what I did wrong. So at this point, my options are to frog down back to, I guess, here before I started doing any shaping and have another go at it. But the thing is, I'm reading the instructions and I'm not seeing where I went wrong. So I would be doing the same thing again. So I cannot figure it out. I cannot for the life of me figure it out. And at this point, I'm so over this effing sweater that I'm just like, screw it. I'm just going to frog it. Like, I'm just over it. I'm so over it. But the other part of me is like, but you've got this much done. But if I can't figure out how to get the rest of it done properly, it doesn't matter how much I have done so far, because it's just going to be redundant because I cannot figure it out. So what I'm going to do right now, I'm not going to frog it right now. I'm going to just put this in hibernation for however long I feel like it, until I feel calm and less pissed off and ready to go back to it. But that's the rift sweater. And honestly, I'm like about this far from just saying, screw it. And I can't figure it out. I don't know what the hell the directions are telling me to do that I'm not doing, because it looks like I'm doing everything they're telling me to do. And it's just so frustrating that I'm just like, I don't even want to deal with it anymore. I think during lockdown, my patience with what I'm willing to just put up with has gone from like this, because it was never really very long or very big, but it's gone to this. So I'm just like, F it, it's going over there, and I don't care. I don't care. Set it on fire, throw it with the trash. I don't care. So that's where I am with the rift sweater. But on a much brighter note, because I wanted something fun to work on, and I wanted to be doing a sweater, I cast on my third super simple summer sweater by Locatelli, because it's like my that's my go-to. So I don't want to knock any stitches off, so let's just get this out here. So this is what I have done so far. I'm just about ready, I think, to do the split for the arms, but I am doing this in like, this is a light gray and dark gray. So this is Sugar Bush in their Cabot line. It is, I think it's an even 50-50 split of linen and cotton. It is a dream to work with. It is so soft and drapey, and it doesn't have any of that stiffness you would expect from cotton. So I think it's just the linen maybe just making it soft and drapey. I did a bit of a bigger gauge than what I normally did, just because I wanted that drape. So I'm doing the size that I normally do, which was the size small, but I went up, and then my glasses on. Oh my God, I'm so scattered. So I went up, the suggested needle size is 3.75 or 3.25, and I went up to 3.75, and I did the small. And I think, if I remember, I probably shouldn't have thrown that over there, but I'm trying to find, there it is. So this is the Sugar Bush Cabot. The suggested needle size for this yarn is I thought I saw it on here. Maybe I didn't. Oh no, here it is, 4 millimeters. So I'm one down from the suggested size, but I'm 2 sizes up from the pattern suggested size. And I didn't bother swatching because I think this is what I did with the last version I did. I went up 1 or 2 needle sizes to give it more of a drape than my original one. So, 70% Pima cotton, 30% linen is the blend. But I love the, I love how it's looking. It's really, really pretty. So this is Stormy Skies colorway, and this is the Silver Dollar colorway. And it's just, like, I think I started this last weekend. So this is what I love about this sweater. Number one, it's very easy. The pattern is very easy. So if you don't want to think, I'm gonna keep those there. If you don't want to think about what you're doing and you just want an easy sweater to knit, I cannot recommend this sweater enough. Like, this is my 3rd time making it, if that says anything. But I love it. I just love it. I love the yarn. I'm enjoying the knit. It's not frustrating me like the rift was doing. So I think I'm still, like, I'm just starting my 2nd row of this one. So the yarn is going a long way. And it's in my, I bought a new bag from my local yarn store, The Loop. I love it. Oh, actually, I'm gonna do this. Let's see it. Like, look at the design on it. Isn't that pretty? It's got dog hair on it, but ignore that. So it's like just this beautiful black and white. And then on the inside, it's got this, I don't know, it's almost like a sea, very, very pale sea green maybe. And then there's also like a little pocket in here as well, which they've started putting in their bags, which I love. So that's my new bag. Because this is what I do when I'm in lockdown. I buy copious amounts of yarn and then I start projects and need more bags to put them in. So I'm really like, I am loving this. I'm gonna work, I'm gonna cleanse my palette from the ripped sweater and work on this afternoon. And just enjoy it. Enjoy my knitting, because I got so frustrated with that rip this morning. I was just, it was not a pretty sight. It was not a pretty sight. So the other thing I did, and this is in my Jenna Rose bag. I love this bag. I have my one project here, and then I have my sock project, which is in another loop bag. Both in here, and I still have room left over. So I started doing a hat design for, I'm not going to set that there because that's going to be a bad idea. Okay. My sister was watching the movie Eurovision on Netflix, and she sent me a text saying in the last 30 minutes of the movie, Pierce Brosnan has a hat on and she wants that hat. I have to make her that hat. So then I had to watch the movie, which was actually good for Chuckle. It was good. I got a kick out of it. But then I got dog hair all over this. It's insane. So then I actually had to kind of, with my cell phone, try to capture a picture from my computer and then kind of enlarge it and try to figure out what the stitch pattern was. And then I had to figure out what I had to do to mimic like the look that they had there. So this was left over from my, oh my God, I'm totally blanking. So very Shannon shawl. It had mosaic knitting. I'll put the name down here. I'm totally blanking. I don't know why. Comfort shawl? Courage shawl. I think it's the courage shawl. I think that's right. I'll put it down here anyways. So this is, I think, either Cascade 220 or Barocco Ultra, but I don't have the tag anymore. So I think it's one of those. Anyway, I had enough left of that, and it was in the weight that I wanted, which is kind of, it's a worsted weight, maybe close to an Aran weight. So I knit a twisted rib. In the photo, it looks like it's either a 1x1 or a 2x2 rib, but I really like the look of the twisted rib. Like, look how pretty that is. So I did that instead, and then I kind of wrote out what I thought the pattern was, and then I knit like a section of that, but that didn't quite look right because I was putting kind of stockinette stitches next to the cable, and then the cable just sort of blended in. It didn't pop the way it did if it was on reverse stockinette stitch. So I did so then I kept knitting, but the next block I did a a reverse stockinette stitch, and then I felt like the sections kind of in between on either side of the cable were too big, so then I shrunk those down, and then it looks like there's like a moss stitch kind of in between there, so I put that in, and then I think I didn't feel that was big enough to really show up, so when I took the other stitches away from the either side of the cable, I added it into the moss stitch section. But then I realized that the cable I was doing didn't look like the cable that was in the hat in the picture. And I'm going to try to remember to stick a picture at the beginning of this whole thing, talking about the hat. So then I kind of had to like look at that, and then I went through my cable book and I tried to find something that matched it as close as I could get, and I think I found one. So then I kind of typed up what I had for the pattern so far, and then I was going to keep going just from where I was at, but I wanted to get like at least a couple sections done to make sure it looked right. And then I still needed enough yarn left over to try to do the, to figure out the crown shaping. So, but I only have this much yarn. And I wasn't sure if it was going to be enough. So I thought, well, what I'll do is I will just think back, because this isn't going to be the yarn that I do my sister's hat in, because she also wanted it to be the color of, now I'm all discombobulated here. She also wanted it to be the color of the hat in the show. So I did Cascade 220. Is it Cascade 220, Heather? Yeah. And I'm totally blanking on the name, but it's like this very, very, very dark gray. My only concern with this is that where the color is so dark, even with the golden retriever hair in it, is it going to be too dark to show the pattern? So I also bought, because if this works out, I want to make myself a hat too. And I don't know if I put it in here or not. No, and I didn't. But I bought the light gray, which is kind of that shade, in the same yarn. Oh, wait. I think I feel the tag. Yeah, I do feel the tag. I do have the tag. Cascade 220. And the color is, and I don't know if they have names. It's color 4002 and 100% Peruvian Highland wool, but I don't see an actual color name. So dark gray. Let's see. But yeah, I'm a little bit concerned that the pattern may not show up in that color. So what I'm going to do first is I'm going to knit up my version of it here, and I kind of sectioned off each sections, each repeat section, so that I would, if I screwed up, I could just go back one section and not the whole thing. So I think I've got it figured out. So I'm going to do knit up as much as I can with this, and then I'm going to try to figure out the like crown shaping. Totally blanking. Oh my god. I think the fog outside is invading my brain. So because I still want to kind of carry the pattern up into the crown shaping as much as I can. I have no idea how to do that. So I think before I do the crown shaping is I'm going to put a lifeline in the last full pattern row, just so if I have to tink back, and I have ripped back on this to the brim probably twice so far, and because it's like it's a woolly yarn, it's nice and sticky, so I've been able to do that without like dropping stitches or, you know, having it get pulled down in some areas lower than, you know, it was actually fairly simple to do. But for this one, I just want to make sure that I don't go past a certain row in the pattern and then think I'm in a different row and then mess up the whole thing. So I'm just going to put a lifeline in, and then I'll see if I can figure out how to do the crown shaping without kind of messing up the pattern too much. And hopefully I can figure it out. Really, I have no idea what I'm doing, but I am enjoying it. I'm enjoying the process. And if this works out, then I'll knit my sisters, and then I'm gonna knit myself one, and then hopefully by then I'll figure out any kinks that might still be left in it. And then I think I'll probably look at releasing the pattern. It's a little different than what the hat in the movie is, just because I couldn't really quite figure out some things, so I just sort of improvised. So I don't feel like I'm ripping off the pattern. It's definitely inspired by, and I'm going to call it the Relic Hat because my sister said she was going to wear it as much as Relic wore his hat on the beachcomber. So if any of you Canadians out there are old enough to remember the beachcombers, Relic always had his hat on. So I said, okay, we'll call it the Relic Hat. So yeah, so once I do that, if I get that far to the point where I'm going to do it up as a pattern, I'll probably get some test knitters. So if you're interested, watch for that. I'll probably do it on Instagram, which just reminded me I didn't say anywhere where to find me. So I'll put all of my links on where you can find me down below for Instagram, Facebook, my Etsy shop. Where else? YouTube, you're already here. Oh my God, my stomach just went entirely empty. It's feeding time. So I've really been enjoying that. So I think I might work on that a little bit today or tomorrow as well. And I'm just keeping that again in my Jenna Rose bag. And I think I just this around, and now I'm all tangled. That's another thing that's been going a-okay. It was just a riff sweater. That was the thing. I'm so pissed off about that. It put me in a surly mood. So the other thing, oh, I forgot. Did I? No, I did. My Salmon Sock. I think I showed you that I had finished the first one. This was Trailhead Yarns in their Appalachian, I'm saying a lot today. In their Appalachian Trail line, which is, I believe, 70% cotton, 30% nylon, I think. And again, so soft and drapey. I was really nervous about knitting with cotton. I thought it was going to be stiff and kind of hard to knit with. No. The blend with the nylon and then the sugar bush with the linen blend in it makes it so soft and drapey. So this was in the Determined Salmon colorway, and after the rift thing, I needed a palette cleanser. I needed a win. I needed a win. So I cast on the second sock because I didn't do that right away, and then it just kind of sat there for about 2 or 3 weeks. So I've got the cuff done, and then I'm just going to start the body. I made these ones a little shorter. I think I'm going to start making my socks a little shorter because I find if they're too long, I just shove them down anyway. So I might as well just save myself some yarn and knit them shorter. But these ones, and one thing I did notice too, the cotton is a little tighter. Yeah. But I did my usual 56 stitches, and I did it on my, I don't even know what needle size I use. 2 point something. Size 0, 2.2 mil, just 2 millimeter. So at first I thought, oh, I wonder if that's going to be a little too tight, but it fits so well that I was just like, nope, I love it. I love it. I love how that fits. So I did muck up the toe a little bit. I don't know what I did, but I was able to I think you can see that. It's just right there. I don't know what I managed to sew it down so you can't really see, but I really don't know what I did. Anyway, so yeah, so that started. And I love this yarn. I would knit with it again in a heartbeat. And it's kind of nice to have some yarn, like lighter yarn for the summer, I guess, because I don't want to necessarily wear my big woolly ones, although we've had some cold days this past couple of weeks that I've literally been wearing sweaters and woolly socks. But on the warmer days, I still like to have socks on, like in the morning or in the evening or whatever, so I think those would be a good choice. And that is all the knitting. But I went shopping, so actually I didn't necessarily go anywhere shopping. It was all online. But I did pick up, this was mentioned on the Grocery Girls, and I absolutely loved it. It's like a little camper, and it's from Poppy Cod, who's from Canada. So anyway, she is from Canada, and it's like a little camper. Is that not? I love the look of it. I just love it. And she had a lot of really great bags. So, and it's really well made. And then inside, it's got like the nice little contrasting. It's all these little stars. So it's really pretty. But yeah, definitely check out her shop. I'll put a link for that below. But then I found a new hand dyer, and I am madly in love. And I don't think I showed these. I don't think I showed these on the last one. But I did go back. I did go back this week and order 2 more skeins because I was just like, I love them. So it's Birch Hollow Fibers, and this one is Sword Steel. It's this like beautiful, beautiful gray. And this is in her Sylvia sock base. So it's 75% superwash merino, 25% nylon. And I love it. I just love it. It's so soft. And the colors, it's not like solid, so it's got kind of like, I don't know if this will pick it up very much, but you can kind of see some different variations of the gray. That is going to knit up so beautifully. And that's her. So I'll put the link to her shop below. Oh my God. Oh my God. So I did, oops. So this one is in her Phyllis DK base, which is 100% superwash merino. And this one, I literally bought it because of the name. I mean, it's a beautiful yarn. I love it. But our last golden who passed away a year ago in May was named Cedar. And the colorway was named Cedar. So, and it's so pretty. It keeps rolling off on me. Like, look at that. Is that not? Like, look at Look at this. Oh, I just love it. I think I'm going between a hat and then I'm going fingerless mitts and then I'm going cowl. So I don't know what this is going to end up being, but it's going to be something that's going to be like nice and warm and comfy. So I'm very excited. I can't wait to knit with both of them. I think this one I'm going to put in a shawl, I think. So I have to find a really nice color to match it with. And I might wait and see when the other ones arrive. Because now I'm like totally, I remember looking at the colors. There were a few colors there, but she was sold out on a lot of them that were stunning. So I know I'm gonna be going back again. So definitely check out her shop. Oh my God. I can't wait to knit with these. And then my local yarn shop, which is open for business now. But what I've been doing is I've been shopping online and then I just pop in and pick it up. And that kind of limits my exposure to people, although I do stop and have a little chat. But these are like, okay, well, first off, let's just like, can we just, I wish you could come through this camera and feel how soft this is. So these are 45% ultrafine merino, 25% baby alpaca, 15% yak, and 15% mulberry silk. And the colors are insane. Like, oh my God. I couldn't decide. At first I was thinking I would get a sweaters quantity, but I couldn't decide which color. So I decided I'm going to get one of each and I am going to make a shawl. And I think I'm going to do the Odyssey shawl by Locatelli, which I think only has 3 colors, but I'm going to do 5. I'm going to go rogue. So this is just like, oh my God, the squishiness. But before I can start this, I have to finish my shawl by Tracy Miller. I want to say wind down. That's not right. I have not worked on that in a few weeks. So I was kind of working in the rift and then kind of I hit a snag that I had to figure something else out. Not the snag I hit today. So that kind of got shoved aside. And then I was just working kind of monogamously on the, well, semi-monogamously on the designing the hat and the Locatelli super simple summer sweater. Number 3. So, oops. So I want to finish that shawl first because I feel like my concentration during lockdown has just been all over the place. So I've cast on, I feel like I've cast on a lot of things and then just set them aside. So I really want to kind of get, like, I want to finish the Tracy Miller shawl and I'm going to hibernate the rift. Just, if anybody has any advice, feel free to put it down below on, like, if you did that section of the shoulder and neck shaping and, you know, might have a clue what I'm doing wrong because I cannot figure it out. Let me know below. Let me know, like, leave me a note or send me a message on what's that thing called, like Ravelry or Instagram. where was I going? Oh yeah, so I've got to finish that shawl. I want to finish designing the hat, and I'm going to finish the Locatelli sweater. And I might try to get that all done by next episode. All my lofty goals. Well, you know what? That might be doable. Might be doable. I don't know. We'll see. I definitely want to have the sweater done, and that thing knits up really fast. So that might be doable. And that's about it. Yeah. Oh, I have been dyeing some yarn. I've found little pockets of time here and there. So I'm almost ready for a shop update. I want to do one more dye session. And then I've got some, I was hoping for mid-July, but I think it's going to be more like the end of July. It's just hard trying to find pockets of time when you have a full house. But my husband is able to go into the office a couple days a week now, and I got the okay to go into the office whenever I want, since I'm the only one there, which is good because my back and my neck from sitting at home are like really from like the neck down to my knees even are a mess. And I'm finally able to get back to Cairo, and I start massage therapy Wednesday. And I've got like Wednesday this week, Wednesday the week after, Wednesday the week after. It's like the triple shot. So I'm really hoping that can kind of, because like when I'm going to turn my neck, I kind of have to like move my whole body. I can get like this. And then all the muscles here just go. So shoulder checking while I'm driving is a lot of fun. It's like, yeah. So they started opening up things in Nova Scotia. More, I think restaurants, we were down to like no active cases. And then we had people travel, and I think one of them definitely self-isolated. I don't know. Well, one of them definitely did not, and infected, I think, some people here and also some people in PEI. So not well done. And honestly, I'm paranoid about going back out. I will not go into public without a mask on. So I ordered myself some new masks from a shop on Etsy. I think Jenna Rose is doing an update, and I really, really, really want one of her masks. I really do. So I'm going to try to catch one in the update. I think her masks sell out like fast. So I don't know if I'll be able to get one or not, but I'm really going to try it. I've got it flagged in my calendar to go when it updates. But yeah, I will not go outside in public without a mask on. I'm just like, and maybe I'm being overly paranoid, but you know what? I'd rather be overly paranoid than unsafe. So, you know, like I see what's going on down in the States, and for any of you guys down there, I hope you guys are staying safe. Like the numbers are climbing. It's scary. Like I don't think I'd leave my house. I would just batten down the hatches and I would not go anywhere. But yeah, I'm not going outside without a mask. I do feel comfortable. Like I'm not going to any restaurants. I'm not going to the gym. The gyms have reopened. But you have to make an appointment. And then I think you have like, I don't know, maybe like an hour to get your workout in, and then they kind of go behind you and they clean everything and sanitize everything. And, but the gyms are germy on a good day. So I just put my membership on hold, and I'll look into it again in the new year. But I've also been starting to do some yoga. I've got a year membership at I think it's called Down Dog app. It's really good. If you guys are looking for a good yoga app, it is so good. You can customize it. The workouts are like really, really good. And I also ended up I've got the Abby Pollock ones that I do, but I also downloaded, I think it's called, I want to say Kaisa, but I think it's Kaisa Fit. She has some really good ones for mobility and strength and stuff like that. So, which I've really been enjoying. So now that I have all those, I just kind of have to get it into a more consistent workout. And so Abby Pollock is doing a 30-day move or 60-day move. So where you have to, I think it's 30 days, and it starts on July 13th, and you have to do something for 60 minutes every day. So I'm going to do that and see if I can kind of get myself back into a routine. I'm weaning myself off the chocolate. My lymph balls are almost gone and I'm not buying any more. So I'm really hoping to kind of like use the time to kind of get back into a regular workout, find stuff that I can do at home in case I end up not deciding, you know what, I'm just not doing the gym anymore. I don't think that's going to happen. I really like going to the gym. But it's going to be a while before I do. It's definitely probably going to be the new year. So that means I've got 6 months that I need to find something else to do, because when you're over 50, you can't stop working out. So yeah, I definitely and I mean, just from a health perspective too, it's good to move every day, especially if you're sitting on your ass in front of a computer screen most of the hours of the day. So, or sitting knitting. I have to do something that gets the blood and the circulation flowing. So, that's what I've been doing. I'm about to start a new book. So this is the new book I'm starting, Once Upon a River, and that's by Diane Setterfield. I read her other book, The 13th Tale, which I really enjoyed. So I bought this one, so it's going to be my next read. I just finished reading Now That You Mention It by Kristen Higgins, which was really good. I really enjoyed that one. And that's about it. I think that's all we got. I thought this was actually going to be a short episode, and maybe after I edit it down, it may be a little shorter. But that's about it. So I'm going to let you guys go. If you liked the video, hit the little thumbs up button down on this side. And if you want to get updates on when new content comes up, just click on the subscribe button. And so thanks. I forgot to mention that at first I just jumped right into my rant and the riff. So welcome back to all the returning viewers. And welcome to any new viewers. I would like to say it's not always this discombobulated, but 50% of the time it is. So anyway, so I hope you guys have a great 2 weeks and get lots of knitting done. I am going to try to finish my sweater, and then I'm going to get back here in 2 weeks. I didn't let you guys go. So have a good 2 weeks. Get lots of knitting done. Stay safe, and I will see you in a couple weeks' time. See ya.